So we have Mr. Desmin Hilliard, formerly from Baylor University, was an All-American discus thrower through the shot put as well. He played football at Baylor. Him and I trained together in high school, so I've known him for a while, and he wants to start training and start throwing. So we're about to start working together and see if we can make something happen. You know, Desmin is a natural athlete. He has a really good feel for the discus. Obviously, he's a very tall thrower, so I tend to coach my taller, lengthier throwers a little bit different than your average size or like your shorter throwers for obvious reasons. So this is the first day that him and I have gotten together. There's going to be some things that we're going to be correcting over time. So, you know, it's not going to be perfect, but he's already off to a really good start. So we're going to go ahead and watch his full speed first, get a good look at his rotation, break him down a little bit, talk about what he needs to improve on and the game plan going forward. So what I like immediately is that he's able to move across the ring really smooth. There's not too many hitches. He just has a really good natural feel for the discus. Now, because he is tall, I typically do not coach my taller athletes to start in a squatted or bent position. He just needs to move well in the back of the ring, and he does that relatively well. Discus is nice and long. That first stretch is created really, really well. That opening up of the left heel, stretching around the left, starting off this throw is awesome. The first thing that I notice is the lack of right leg movement. Now, he does stop the left foot from rotating, which is good. He does start the rotation here, but he's not quite down the middle of the circle. He's a little bit over to the left, so he over-rotated. And you can see how he gets his right foot to where it is. The right foot goes to the ground as opposed to the ground coming to him, which means that he's not properly sweeping his right leg around. His hips are not moving optimally, and he's not going to be able to finish a throw. Now, another thing that I notice as well, lack of right leg sweep. His left arm is really tight. It's not long. He skips through the whole second stretch progression across the chest because that left arm, that left elbow is chicken arm. So along with no right leg sweep, no center of mass over the right leg properly, and no length on the left side of the throw, he's not going to feel how his hips can rotate into a strong block position. He lands, left foot is down and grounded. Discus is still back. So he has a good feel for the discus. You know that he can really sling this thing through, but he ain't getting nothing from the legs. The throw is from the ground up. It has to be initiated and started from the legs, and that includes rotation and hip drive and power. It has to come from somewhere. So he needs to be able to rotate his hips. But because there is no sweep, left side is short. Left foot's not even all the way back in the correct position. He's just a monster, so he's able to kind of rotate, lift into the air, and get a decent pull off the discus. Now, I believe this throw is around 51, 52 meters. So when he cleans some things up, naturally 55 to 58 meters is what he'll get to relatively quick. That's a positive for him. The last thing I'm going to say is right here. For taller throwers specifically, I don't want to see a whole lot of lift. Because you're already tall, your angle of release is going to be optimal at about shoulder, maybe a little bit higher. So he needs to stay grounded, and he needs to rotate those hips. Keep the left arm, instead of being short, keep it long. Keep it long, keep it relaxed. So now when he stays grounded, he's able to really rotate and finish and apply as much speed and force on that discus as he wants to. He does a decent job of blocking. You see his left side stops just a little bit. The right arm can kind of move freely, but not really enough. So he needs to work on this block too. We're going to do a lot of South African movements as well as some non-reverse throws. I don't typically suggest non-reverse throws just for the block. If you want my opinion, the block is just a transfer of energy from one side of the body to the other. So you can do that in a myriad of ways, but he does need to focus a little more on the linear movement from the back of the ring, snapping that left down to the front, getting a better sweep, keeping his left arm long, and really crushing, staying grounded on that finish. If he does that, he is going to toss. I don't see a reason why we're not over 60 within the next month or two. But to be realistic, probably all summer, because it's going to take time to clean this up. It's going to take time to clean this up. But not bad. Not bad for just kind of picking his shoes up, throwing. He's just a great athlete. Guys typically will maintain technique, and if they can stay in shape and healthy, will start to throw really, really well, mid to late 20s, early 30s. Some guys have even thrown far into their late 30s. It's possible. So he's right on track, and I think we can get a lot done. So be looking for more of his videos. We're going to be diving We're diving more and more into his technique, more and more into what he needs to try to accomplish in the ring as he competes, getting more and more distance, more consistent and better throws. Good start, man.